Okay.
All right, excellent. All right, let's continue where we started. Yeah, so thanks everyone for joining, and we will have a session recorded. Oh, I see your sketch being pulled down. Oh, thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, so we will make sure everyone could see it later on for people in different time zones that couldn't join. And it's always a challenge with our organization because we have people from just absolutely every part of the world. So, yeah, for the people that are here, thank you so much. And let's get right into it because we don't have that much time and there's a lot of things we wanted to cover. So, let me switch over to present my screen. Let's put this into slideshow. Okay. How's everybody doing with the screens? Are they seeing?
Yes, we see it.
Okay. All right, great. All right.
Yes, we can see it.
Thank you. Excellent. Yeah, stop me anytime if things get caught up or if slides aren't transitioning very well. But yeah, welcome everybody. And so today's agenda, it's fairly small in terms of the bullet points, but there's quite a number of things we wanted to cover. So we wanted to do some introductions about who we are and in terms of the people that are involved behind the scenes and in front of the scenes and some new people. There's three polls that we wanted to get a gauge from all of you chapter admins and how things are going. And in the previous emails, there was a form, a survey form that was sent out asking for questions and stories. And we got some of those back. And yeah, wanted to share you what those are. And in the end, we will end with open discussion. Oh, and for the EB team members, if there's things in the chat that's coming in, and if it's important to the topics that are being discussed, please shout it out because I can't keep up with or read those while I'm in presentation mode.
Okay, Mike.
All right, so let's start out this meeting with a kind of a gauge in terms of how you are doing as chapter admins. So, how are you feeling right now, or within your role as a chapter admin? And this QR code will allow you to pick up the survey and open it up on your phone, and like you to answer and click on whether you feel excellent.
Sobre ser un capítulo.
Yep. Okay, so the first one is excellent. I enjoy being an admin and everything I do. Second one is pretty good. I like being an admin, but I have some concerns. Third one is not so good. I like being an admin, but there are more downsides to this role. And the fourth one, I hope people aren't feeling it too much, but bad. I am thinking about withdrawing from being an admin. So yeah, let's take a second or two to see.
Oh.
And for the people that are in areas where there's people talking and noise, if you could put it on mute, that would be great.
Alors, un autre seconde.
Okay, the numbers are still going up. Let's see if we could give it a few more seconds. Okay, I think the numbers are slowing down. Oh, it's still coming up. But so this survey will be kept open, especially for the people that are going to watch the video recording later on so they could add in their information too. But if you submit it once, you won't be able to submit it again because we don't want duplicate answers. All right, so let's take a look at how this team or here is doing. All right, so here is the survey as of right now of how we're doing. So 60% said excellent, which is great to hear. Pretty good is so going up a little bit. Yeah, so having concerns and totally understandable. And that's hopefully we could address many of those questions or be able to get to a resolution or an answer in the right direction in today's meeting. Not so good, 13%. Okay. Yeah, this is hopefully with this discussion today, we'll be able to bring some light into some of those areas where there's questions and negative sides to things. But it's good to see that there's nobody here that thinks that's bad. So this was kind of engaging. Okay, well, thank you so much. We will have two more polls later on slipped into the presentation. But yeah, this was the first one. So let's move on to the organization. So we are, as you all know, we are 100% volunteer based. We are all over the world. We connect for the most part remotely because we're all over the world. But we're pretty tight in terms of the communication that goes on. With some of the people I've only met through online and sketches. I mean, it seems, there's the power of what we do and the drawings we do and the sketches and it keeps us together. But this is our current chart and sorry, I won't be able to go through everybody here because it's a large chart here, but many of the people here, especially the officers, the executive board is here in the room. So in the meeting. So if you have questions, you'll be able to ask directly and we'll be able to all chip in. But for today, I wanted to focus on two people that are here that recently joined and they have things that we'd like to share with everybody here. So the first person is Pei Luke, who recently joined our executive board member as the events director. And yeah, Pei Luke, I'd like to pass it on to you for you to share things that are going on.
Yep. Hi, everyone. I'm based in Auckland. So yeah, I've just joined as the events director since the 1st of January. So my world is mostly about events and especially the symposium. So as many of you know that we have the Toulouse Symposium coming up in July and the program is pretty much online now and for the registration, it will be open on the 28th of February. So please take notes on the important dates. Another thing that I wanted to highlight today is hosting the future symposiums. Specifically now, we are now encouraging expression of interest for the 2028 symposium. So we have 2026 in Toulouse, 2027, we already have got a host city, and now we are accepting expression of interest for the 2028 symposium. So if any of you has any questions about the symposium, feel free to reach out to myself or any of the EB. But furthermore, the information are in the website. I can share in the chat later, so you'll get to know more about like how to be like a host city. For the host city, it puts your city on the global stage, welcoming sketches from around the world and showcasing what makes your place special. And beyond that, it's about connections. Hosting opens the door to like networking with like good sketchers around the world, and you get their work about your city. So these relationships often continue well beyond the symposium itself. It's a big effort to host an international symposium, but it's also hugely rewarding. So if you have in mind that one day we can host this, probably you should start your expression of interest. So feel free to reach out to us. I'll post the link to the chat.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Peluk. Let me move on to the next person that we'd like to introduce today that is going to help us out in the outreach position. Nadja, if you are online, it'd be great if you could explain to us some of the things that are going on in your world. No? Nadja wasn't able to join? Okay, so maybe she could join later on. Yeah, this is the difficult thing about online and global connections here. Sometimes we miss each other. But I'd like to move on to the membership team. So this is a team that you have as chapter admins, hopefully have worked with in the past. Especially the newer chapters, because these are the people that are doing the connections day in and day out, represented with people all over the different regions. And yeah, very hardworking people that are working behind the scenes of things you may not see to make sure that our chapters are getting the support that you all need, and that we could all work together to share the passion of drawing and sketching. So what's also exciting for us is that we recently have been able to get a number of people to fill in positions that were missing, especially in the region of Africa. We were able to get Taria. Latin America, we have Breno and Paloma. And in North America, we were able to get Lynn. And also, as a data manager, this is the person that's helping us out, connect all of the information of the different chapters to make sure everybody is current and all the databases synced up. We were able to get Alexis to help out. So yeah, many of them are being onboarded now. So yeah, stay tuned, and hopefully you will be able to connect with them in the different regions. So based on that, I'd like to jump into another poll in terms of getting a feeler of what's taking place. And this was driven on feedback we received from the chapter admins. And let me read it out. So as an official USk chapter admin, you have been able to you found out about this meeting because of the Google Groups email. So you're all on a email list that's hosted by Google Groups. And this allows us to keep us all connected, and also for everybody as a chapter admin to be able to respond to each other. And we think that's been really good because you could talk to each other and everybody could talk to each other. But of course, the downside is when you have 903 members on an email list, you understand what happens when people reply. It happens, and there's a lot of things going on. So here's the question. So the question we had is, should we make changes to the Google Group email settings? And the response is, first one is no, keep it as is. So I like the ability to be able to respond to everybody and to see the email threads with the various conversations taking place. The second one is, yes, we should make changes so people cannot reply to all. I like receiving email updates from USk Global, but I do not like receiving the tons of responses from everyone. And as well as other thoughts. And we may ask you later on what these are, but see if you have any thoughts on this. So yeah, if you could take a moment to scan in the QR code and to answer this question. And if you yes,
Mike, do you have alternatives already on the table to this Google Group email?
I'm
or
sorry.
just do you have alternatives already in mind for this,
Yes.
or is it
Yes.
really blank? let's say?
Well, it's open for discussions, but there's a couple scenarios we could take. We could make it so we could keep Google Groups email, but make it so it's only one way, as in the USK Global will be able to send information to you, but nobody can respond back to everybody. There's settings on being able to do that, and there's other methods too. So we just need to get a gauge of what it is that the chapter admins are looking for and feeling.
Okay.
So,
Thanks.
Mike, this is Connie McFarland from Tulsa. You could do that, what you just said, and still have clearly like new chapters that are coming. You could still give their email addresses so those that like to celebrate the new chapters could go and still celebrate rather than have to see all of the, 40 or 50 responses that are saying the same thing. That's a part of that puzzle, I think.
Yes, it's a good point, Connie. All right, let's move on from this one here. Less responses than before, but this is one that's a little bit open. So let's take a look at the feelings. So yeah, there's 46% of you saying let's just keep it as is. They like all the responses taking place, and there's 37% of you thinking that no, they just like to receive the information one way, and there's 16% of you that have other thoughts. So this is definitely a topic more for discussion that we need to continue. And yeah, to Connie's point, yeah, for the people that do want to contact each other, I think it should be left open. And also for people that don't want to be contacted by everybody. So if there's ways of doing that, I think we need to look into that. And this is where introduced to Alexis, our data manager. Yeah, we will brainstorm much more to figure things out. So let's jump into one more question and get all the polls out of the way. And so we could go really deeper into more juicier topics. But there's this thing called Club Express. And so Club Express is a software platform that we use for years in Urban Sketchers. And it has been a place where we keep all of the chapter related information hosted. And we wanted to get a gauge in terms of how everyone's feeling about this software. And you may have questions or you may have things associated with it, but really just to get a gauge of what's going on. So how do you feel about Club Express as a chapter admin? First one is, I love it. I get the information I need from here all the time. And two is indifferent. I don't love it or hate it since I don't really understand what this is used for. And the third one is I hate it. I don't find it useful and I don't access it. So some of these are strong words, but we also wanted to kind of really get an understanding.
Mike, I just saw some comments on the chat that some admins don't even know about the Club Express too. So this is also something that we should take in consideration.
Is it US popular thing, this Club Express? Or
so this is the reason why we're asking.
never heard before.
Yeah,
I made a bunch of.
Yes, and you're not the only one. And this is something we have been hosting for all of the chapter admins. So if chapter admins don't know what it is or aren't using it, then there's something not being used correctly. So.
Mike and Nadia Jeanette, the authority coordinator, just joined back the meeting for the next show.
Okay, excellent. All right, so we'll jump back to Nadia right after the slide.
Okay.
Okay, so this is still kind of ongoing in terms of the polls that are coming in. And these will be kept alive or live, so you'll be able to access it. Let's take a look at how people are feeling right now. So, yeah, Club Express. For the most part, more than half the people in the room here are feeling indifferent about it, meaning they don't love it or hate it because they don't really understand what it's used for. And there's a large percentage that hates it, 41%. I don't find it useful and I don't access it. And there's 5% of people that say, I get the information I need from here all the time. So now this is a really, really good kind of a check point because this is something we're looking into too. So everything we're doing in Urban Sketchers, especially when it relates to the database aspect of things, we have relied on the legacy system because, as you know, we are all 100% volunteer driven and we inherit a lot of systems in place. And while it may have worked 10 years ago, things are changing rapidly now. And there's things that are easier to do and more convenient. And also, we're looking at all of that right now. Okay. Well, thank you for this. Let's jump back to Nadja. Yeah, you're online. Yeah, if you could hop on a second to explain what's going on in your world to share your story with us.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Hi, I'm Raja Hineta. I'm from Luzon, Philippines. I'm the new outreach coordinator, and my post is relatively new. And then I head the Urban Sketchers Week for this year. If you've been a chapter since 2024, we started that International USk in 2024, and then we continued it 2025. And then for this year, I will be having the activities, and then please keep out on the announcements, and then please wait for keep eye on the announcement and share for you on our group. So yeah,
All right.
if you want to volunteer for the
Mhm.
organizing team, just email me at outreach.
Okay. Well, thank you, Nacha, for joining. And yeah, I know it's difficult with the different time zones, but I appreciate it. Let's jump back into where we were. Chapter admins. Okay, now let's get into the kind of the core or meat of things in terms of there was a forms that was sent out, and there's many of you that wrote back, and we wanted to share that with you because there were truly wonderful stories that were submitted, and there were questions that were asked too that were quite challenging too. But we also wanted to make sure that we address those because while you know, I'll mention it here, while we may not have the full answer right here, we will work it out. We will figure out how to get through it. And so I hope you understand that you're part of this journey too. It's not for us and the global team, especially the executive board, to have answers to everything. We are in it together. And while we have information that we've accumulated from working with the past history of the board members, we're still figuring it out too. So let's jump into the stories. So yeah, so I will read this out, and for if people are here and they like to chime in, yeah, I love to open it up. So with USk Tulsa, I know Connie's here, so she'll be able to explain, but let me just read what was submitted. So our story is our efforts to share Urban Sketchers' image of Route 66, a highway from Chicago to Malibu that runs through 7 cities with USk chapters. This year is the 100th anniversary of the Mother Road. USk Tulsa organized an exhibit in 2025 that included the works of 4 chapters, and we are currently working on an updated collection for display in August 2026. So is there anything you wanted to mention about this?
Yeah. Hey, Mike, thanks for starting out with this. Yeah. So we were happy to celebrate this wonderful highway. Last year we had an exhibit that included Springfield, Missouri, Chicago, Oklahoma City, and work from our chapter. And this year we're adding in Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and we're hopeful to find someone from St. Louis and from Los Angeles so that we can have all 7 chapters that are along the Mother Road submit their work, and we want to bundle it up and send it back in the package to each community so they can do their own exhibit in their area, showing all these great sites along this great road. So that's what we're working on. We have a Zoom today at 5 o'clock with 5 chapters, and we're still looking for a contact from St. Louis or from Chicago. I've gone into the admins list. I've tried to find, we've gone on Facebook and done iMessages, but we're still looking for. So if anybody's on the call from St. Louis or California, would you please let me know? And you can just do urbansketcherstulsa@gmail.com. That's us, and we'll see if we can get you patched in. It's a great celebration. It's a great road. And if any of you anywhere have been on the Mother Road and have images, we'd love to have your images as well to make it be even more than just our 7 chapters. So it's a great trip, and I hope you guys can hop on.
Got it. Excellent. Thanks for sharing. Well summarized too, in terms of, Route 66. I'm sure even people that are in international locations probably heard of it, especially if you grew up with rock and roll like I did. It's just, you just can't avoid it. So,
and Mike, you just posted Instagram with our cowboy. You were here. Yes.
So for everyone, I was located in Charlotte, North Carolina, but I moved out to Northwest Arkansas 4 months ago now. And I visited Tulsa for the first time the other day. A beautiful place. So, all right, let's move on to the next story. So USk Tonya, if you are here, love to have you explain what it is, but let me read it in. So in USk Tonya, Ronaldo, what was it again? We have discovered that our chapter serves as a mental health refuge. Through internal surveys, our members have shared how the group has helped them overcome loneliness, depression, and grief. We have succeeded in creating a space of radical inclusion where migrants, diverse gender identities, and different religious beliefs coexist in total harmony. Furthermore, our consistent visibility allowed us to connect with the local government, proving that urban sketching can bridge the gap towards institutional projects that benefit both administrators and the community. Recently, we held a symbolic ceremony, passing candles to new volunteers to delegate responsibilities, reminding them that the group's flame depends on everyone, not just 2 leaders. Our lessons for our chapters is the social impact of drawing is the most powerful tool for gaining institutional support. So beautiful story. Thanks for sharing. And if you are here and if you want to chime in, please do.
Is it Tonya, Colombia?
Colombia.
I'm very bad in geography, right?
Yes.
Colombia.
Yes, excellent.
Yes.
Okay. Let me move on to the next story. So USk Batangas City from the Philippines. And I'll read out the story. Every time we hold an event, there are first-time attendees, many of whom are simply interested in art but lack confidence in their drawing skills. Because our activities are held outdoors, some of them also feel anxious about their work and output. However, through continuous participation in our events, they often do not realize that they are gradually gaining speed, confidence, and skill in drawing and creating. We make it a point to highlight the testimonials of first-time attendees and share these experiences with new participants. As a result, newcomers feel less afraid to try, less worried about being judged, and more comfortable exploring their artistic side. This helps create a safe, welcoming, and inclusive community where everyone is encouraged to grow freely. Anybody from this chapter?
Hello, everyone. I'm Jojo Yunar from Urban Sketchers, Batangas City, from the Philippines. So that's it for our stories, our local chapter, and I hope everyone got inspired with the stories of our members here in the Philippines. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Now, this is a beautiful story. And I think as we do more and more of sketching and drawing, I think we sometimes forget the first times that we tried. And I think we're all afraid in the beginning. So this is a great reminder. Okay, let's move on to the next story, which came from USk Tokyo. So USk Tokyo hosted its first invitational sketch meet in November 2025 with instructors from Japan, US, Korea, Hong Kong, Singapore. We were initially concerned about the event's success, but Alvin Wong from USk Hong Kong assured us by whatever we did, sketchers would want to come and just be happy to be together. That advice proved to be true, and we welcomed about 45 sketchers from all around Asia to the event, and even more for the sketch meets before and after the event. So this is great. Yeah, if there's any members from USk Tokyo or Alvin or anybody that attended, if you want to chime in, I'd love to hear from you.
I don't think anyone from Tokyo attending because it's late right now. But I met with Kendra of USk Tokyo 2 weeks ago in Tokyo, and she shared her afterthoughts of the very first event, international event happened in Japan, and I encourage them to do it again because everybody loves Japan, and definitely Mike yourself love to go back and your motherland. And I think we love to. I even joke about let's have a symposium there. Even you don't have the people, I will send a troop there to help you. And that's my what I said. And I hope some days in the future we can have a big event in Japan again.
Excellent. Well, thanks for sharing, Alvin. Yeah, for the people that haven't met Alvin, yeah, he's a chapter admin, but he's also part of our membership team. So yeah, anything Asia related, he's been helping out with the different chapters. So thanks again. Let's go to the next story, USk Kazan City, and let me read it out. We formed our chapter in February 2019, and we'll be celebrating our 7th year next month. In March 2024, we hosted the strat planning of the USk Executive Board and called it Taekwondo QC, meeting in QC. From then, our chapter grew more and more, and we love it, that the link from the global to the local was formed through Taekwondo. We always find that experience a happy one. Anybody from USk Kazan City?
Hi, I'm from USk Quezon City. I'm the outreach coordinator. That's where Ronaldo and everyone. That's where I'm Ronaldo.
Okay. Well, thank you. All right, so that's all of the stories that were submitted, and thanks again for sharing your stories. Beautiful, beautiful stories. And let's jump into questions that were submitted. We'll go through some of the questions, and in the end, we will open it up to discussion. So everybody who came up with questions during the meeting or things that they want to ask, we'll be able to get to those. So here is the first question, and we're going to start really hard on some of these questions. So I'll read out the question that was submitted. How can chapters in cities with low cultural investment manage institutional funding, local governments, or grants to compensate administrative time and cover operational costs without violating the USk nonprofit manifesto? Is it recommended to establish a separate legal entity to manage these resources and paid projects? So that's a lot covered here. And yeah, I was talking with the EB executive board members this morning. So I'd like to open it up to the executive board because I know we had discussed many things that came out of it.
what costs are people, what are they talking about covering? We're all volunteers. We're not getting paid for administrative.
I would say from Tulsa, from our exhibit last year, we had a reception, an opening reception, and we found the Route 66 Alliance hosted the refreshments. And that was kind of, $200, $300 minimal, but there's difficult how you account for that. Do you run it through your personal account? Do you run it through your business account? I mean, it kind of, it's a philanthropic on their part, but on our part, it is an operational cost that we try to figure out how to cover, other than getting our members to help pitch in and donate for expenses like that. This year we'll have a much larger reception, and we'll have to find a sponsor, which we will, certainly through the Route 66 people, but there are expenses related to some of the activities if you're doing, in our opinion, outreach to the public. And I also want to add, because of that, I'm considering looking at a separate legal entity to manage the resources so that we don't have to decide which account to pay for the expenses that occur.
I'm Christophe from Paris. And in France, we have the possibility to have non-profit companies. And we have an association loi 1901, and it's typically for non-profit. And we created 6 years ago or 7 years ago already a structure exactly for dealing with this kind of stories. We got institution asking for working for them, and they give us compensation. And second point is we need to be covered and to have a liability. And if we have an insurance, we need to have a legal entity. And I encourage you to have I know that in Germany you have the EI, and which is the equivalent of Loi 1901 for France, And in UK you have charity structure. And I guess in any country you have a kind of a legal structure for a non-profit.
I think that's correct, that every country has their own legal requirements, and certainly in France that is the case, that an association can be created. However, it's also important to remember that once events are organized outside of the Urban Sketchers family, there are insurance implications, because chapter events are inherently covered by Urban Sketchers insurance. So once
I would be
step outside and become their own entities, there is a gray area. So it's something to talk about with the membership team. If that is a legal requirement in your country for banking reasons, for other reasons to rent spaces, I think it's very important to talk to membership first, because there are implications, especially if you are also using the Urban Sketchers name in your association, because it will no longer be part of the global Urban Sketchers organization.
Annette, I have a question talking about insurance. And by experience, I know that you may have an insurance subscribed at US level, but I have doubts that your insurance can work under the French Latin law. We do not have the common law, and we have another system. And I know by experience that even if you subscribe globally, in reality, it doesn't work.
Well, I'm the education director, so
I
I'm
know,
not going to answer that question directly.
Mhm.
But but I will say that our insurance policy. I'm also a chapter admin in France, so
Which chapter?
Languedoc-Roussillon.
Okay.
So I also respect that the insurance covers my chapter in all the activities that we do, and so therefore I think Joanna, who's on this call, is our treasurer, and can also help advise on to anyone listening what the insurance covers and why and how you can get a copy of the certificate for your chapter events. You simply need to make the request to the secretary. It covers all the things that you need to do, as far as I'm aware, anywhere in the world. So please do check in with Joanna about that.
Hello, can I add something here, please?
Hello?
Yes, this is Sadiq Shahab, and I am USk Bahrain. When it comes to the chapter receiving money, we have very tight regulation down here because everything is monitored by the AML, which is anti-money laundering. Those are trying to be part of all money transfer transactions, especially when it is non-profit organization. And there's a couple of ways to register to receive a non-profit amount from the public, from the supporter, or from the people who do want to support the event. I found it very tight because sometimes it contradicts or clashes with the AML laws that have been implemented tightly lately in the region and especially in Bahrain.
Okay. All right, thanks for sharing. Yeah, I'm not sure if we fully have the answer here, but we do have the right people that could get the answers. Yeah, as Annette mentioned, Joanna is the person that could help us out, get started. And we also have other people in the team that could further investigate more in the membership team side of things. So rather than speculating or thinking it might not work, please do reach out to us first before going off and establishing things outside of the USk organization for the purposes of being covered properly. And so we will, we could solve it all together. Is there anything else people would like to add to this question?
I'm just going to add real quickly that one of the goals for the fundraising team this year is to try to establish some type of financial hubs in different areas of the world, and this could possibly cross over with some of the work that we're doing. So we would probably be working with membership and with our treasurer on that. So I took a note, and I'm going to add that to the discussion that we'll be having, because I think it overlaps with banking and donations.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks, MJ.
Mike, I just want to add one thing here. Like if you're planning to open a bank account and you need a nonprofit status from us, you can reach out to secretary@urbansketchers.org, and we will be able to provide you that document of incorporation, non-for-profit document, which you can give to the bank and they can help you. This will reduce your fees and help you manage the fundraising activities or any kind of events. So just reach out. There are many avenues where we can help you with that.
Mike, if I can jump in here too real quick, there seems to be a lot of questions about the insurance and what's covered. We do have a document with some guideline for chapter admins that maybe we can provide through the appropriate channel.
Excellent. Yeah, let's do that. So yeah, this was a pretty big topic. Yeah, let's circulate the information we have, and also the contact points of who we could reach out to. So thanks for that, Joanna. Okay, let's move on to the next question. And this is another big one too, but let me just read it out. What strategies do you recommend to maintain an environment of radical inclusivity, diversity, and mental health impact, while simultaneously setting strict boundaries regarding erratic behavior or excessive alcohol consumption that affects group safety? How can we address disruptive conduct without losing our community's essence as a vital social refuge? So this is a big one, and it's also something we are tackling much deeper into right now in terms of a place to start with a code of conduct and setting what we are believe in. So our manifesto guides us in terms of our beliefs in terms of while we are together, but the code of conduct is going to go much deeper into addressing many of the issues that. Well, not many, but we have had incidences come up in different chapters where we have needed a more of a formal document to be able to address that. I know MJ, you were involved in some things in the past. Is there some things you like to talk about regarding how and the code of conduct?
Well, so I was an admin with USk Chicago for 6 years, and if we would get a complaint or we would see something, we would discuss it as a team. And generally, what would happen if we found that it was a valid complaint or a valid issue, then our main admin would have a conversation with that person. And then depending on how the response went from that person was, what was taking place in the future. So I was an admin for 6 years, and we actually had a couple of people we had to ban because they weren't, we gave them several times and warnings or whatever. And but overall, just simple communication. Don't hide it under the rug or deny it. It happens in all groups. It happens at all events, and it's just a good thing to run it by all of your admins first and decide as a group how you want to deal with it. But generally, in my experience, after having conversations, the person understood what boundaries were being set. So, and like Mike said, we are working on a code of conduct that will apply to all chapters and also all events for Urban Sketchers for kind of this exact reason. So,
yeah, thanks for that, MJ. Yeah, so this is a big part of what we're going to be doing this year, yeah, we will be sharing that as we develop these. And your input is important too along the way. So
I have a note. I'm Judith. I'm on the North American membership team, helping vet chapters, and I've had a couple of chapters that only have their events at bars, and I've given them some pushback to try to get them to understand that there are some people that can't be around alcohol, and so you're excluding them, whether they're underage or they have a drinking problem or something like that. So, it is good to keep in mind, like, where are you having your events? And it's fine to do that, but I wouldn't say every event can't be at a pub or a bar or a brewery, which, a couple of these places, almost every event was. So, just to be mindful of not encouraging the possibility of bad behavior.
Yes. Thanks for sharing, Judith. All right, so let's move on to the next one here. And some of these are going to get a little more simpler, so we could start combing through it a little faster. What is the official procedure, and who is our direct point of contact to request update or changes for the third registered administrator of our chapter, you can contact me or the membership person, Javier, who is running our membership team in terms of the different chapters, or you could just send a note to the Urban Sketchers top level email. I will share that in the end, and we will get this going. Is there a formal approval process for updating a chapter's logo? Which department should we ensure to align it with the USK global branding guidelines? Yes, this is something you could start with me too, or Javier in the membership, or any of your regional membership coordinators who has been helping you out. But yeah, we'd like to understand what it means to update. Is it something that has been already submitted and you'd like to change it, or is it a brand new logo? But yeah, this is another one that could be easily helped on this. Is it possible to hold a USK symposium in Asia? Many of our members have expressed strong interest in attending the annual symposium, but were unable to do so due to the previous locations. Additionally, would it be possible to establish a scheduled lineup of future symposiums following a continent-based rotation? So, you know, in terms of, so USK symposium in Asia, the last one that was registered that we're planning for was in 2020 in Hong Kong. And as you know, the world changed around that time in 2020. So we have missed that. And yeah, it would be great if we could circulate continent-wise. And we always think about not always having in the same places, but it also depends on who is applying to. And Peluk mentioned in terms of the future locations that are taking place. And we really need chapters to apply, especially the Asian chapters to apply if this is the case in terms of getting more symposiums in areas we've done less of. Yeah, and Peluk would have a better idea and understanding in terms of what needs to be done. But this is something we have in mind too.
Mike, maybe I can share a little bit about this. I don't know who sent out this question, but I echo that. Honestly, I think you know, the symposium. I attended, I think, 8 symposium before, and every time, the biggest one was about 800, maybe 700, 800 people attended, and around the world, we have over maybe 200,000 urban sketches around the world, and in 30 minutes all tickets will be sold out every time. So even you mark pencil down 28th of February for the for the symposium ticket release, you you have to fight with another, you know, we fight with a world of urban sketches. So this is a kind of nightmare for everybody. So we talk about, you know, how a symposium or a international event can cater more sketches, and the result of that conversation, I think it was a few years back with other advisory board members and some EB members, and the answer is no. The urban schedule cannot entertain and cater everybody, so that's why we encourage different chapters. We can have smaller event, even a 2 days event. For example, like in Hong Kong, we got the hosting right for the 2020 symposium, and when Auckland had the symposium in 2023, before that they actually asked us whether we wanted to do it. They can let us do it again. But the thing is, in Hong Kong, everything is so expensive, and also people are very during that time it's very difficult to travel. So that's why we had 2 big event afterwards. It's only last for 2 days, so it is easier to manage, and also can let everybody to enjoy that small gathering just a weekend, instead of a 4 days like a symposium. So the only difference is that is not an urban sketcher event. It's a local event, but a lot of international sketchers also came. So I think to keep the long story short is I want everybody to think about should we only have one symposium happen in one location per year, or we have one symposium plus small event happening in different places. So I think it needs everybody to contribute on this question, and we have to we as a admin we have to take care of our members and also our nearby in the regions member as well. Honestly, to myself, the last two symposium I miss it is because it's just too far for us. So let's think about, we maybe we can have two or three, but we call only one single event as is symposium. The other maybe a smaller event, which are endorsed by the urban sketchers. So it makes more sense.
Okay. No, great input, Alvin. Yeah.
I added I reposted the link again. So for any chapters that are interested in this, please feel free to reach out to us. We can help to answer some of the questions. So don't wait. So just let us know.
Okay. No, thank you. Thank you for that. Sorry for rushing it a little bit. We are 1 minute before the expected time. We may run over a little bit, but we're going to try to wrap up within the allocated time because I know everybody has other things going on or they need to go to sleep because it's in a different time zone. But I'm just going to go through. Is there an existing regional membership director or leaders? And yes, and so within the chart that was shown, the membership team members, there's people you can contact, or if there isn't, please reach out to me or the membership team, and we will make sure to connect you directly to get the information and the support you need. So that covers every question that was submitted. And yeah, we only have we're right on time, but I do want to open it up to everybody in terms of, yes.
Mike, can I just add something really quick about the events and the symposium? In addition to the symposium, Global also supports the 5 regional grants. So we do have 5 additional regional events going on in the world. And for those, any chapter can apply for those. So, and maybe push some of the Asian chapters to apply for those grants, and that would solve part of the problem of having additional USK events in that area.
Excellent point, MJ. Yeah, I totally forgot about bringing that up. That's so true.
So, Mike, I have a question. I guess it's probably going to MJ. Did we meet the $10,000 goal for fundraising last year?
We did better than that. We made $12,453.05.
I was expecting to see one of those thermometers like they show as the United Way.
Oh, yeah. It blew up, the thermometer. Yeah.
Yeah. We did. It was very successful. Thank you, everyone who donated, shared, and shared your stories and testimonials. I think it's a wonderful thing. So.
Anything hot that people want to bring up right now?
Mike, this is Phoebe Wilson from Los Angeles, and I did send in a question, but it was late, so it can wait till the next time. But I think it's a question that the larger groups may have. We're having trouble getting into museums in an appropriate way. We have sometimes upwards of 60 people or up to 60 people, and how we're beginning to deal with museums. Museums are beginning to kind of push back because, of tomato cans being thrown at art. But it's a really, we don't have cold weather like some people around the world have, but we have hot weather, and we need to have a couple of places we can go in. So it's a general question of how are we dealing with museums? Is there any, what I would love, frankly, is a video that I could send to the museums and say, here's what we would do. Here's our code of conduct. Here's the materials that we would like to use. And can we do that?
And Phoebe, I have a question. Are they letting you in comp? Are they comping you, or are you having to pay to go to the museums in LA?
We never try and ask to comp.
Really?
So we do pay. But there's things like, an individual guard will not understand that we're a group that comes in often, and it's okay. It's just getting a little dicey. We used to, when there would be 10 to 15 of us, we'd go into museum, no problem. But now when there's 30, 40, 50 of us arriving, it's beginning to get to be an issue.
Okay.
You just pretend you don't know each other. Then you can go.
Yeah, Alvin, that's
strategy. Yes.
That's very good. Regarding the museum thing, yeah, we did a successful museum event, and I'll be happy to share all the picture and all the information if you like.
Yes.
How do I get that from you? How do we get your information into all of us?
Okay, it's USk Bahrain at the Gmail.
Okay.
And USk Bahrain all social media.
Yeah,
thank you.
We do the same. I have a set of pictures showing our group, and I try to get in touch with the directors or the administrational stuff.
Yeah.
Some 8 weeks in advance to send it to them and send a link to the Urban Sketches Global Group and to our Instagram, and have some references, as we have been in some museums or some stuff where they can see that we are not dealing with something, and explain a little bit how we will behave in the museum. And we have not had a big issue beside our churches. The church was hindering us to come as a group, so we need to go in a guerrilla modus and not know each other if we want to go drawing in the church.
In the church, that's interesting.
Yeah.
How big are your groups?
Around 20.
Yeah.
I had a question.
Go ahead, Natalie.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, we it's always good at the beginning of the year to remind people about the manifesto and what is an urban sketching and what is not. And Alvin has been great at providing us the little two things, the little sketch
cartoon.
That yes and no, and then there's also now a new cartoon that shows and explains a lot of that. All that is great, but it's only in English, and I don't personally, in our group, don't have necessarily the ability of making a French version, because we need to have at least a French version available. And it may be true for other parts of the world also. Some people may want to have a Spanish version or another language. Is there any way we can find a way of making that happen as a group, and we can share it instead of each one of us struggling and saying, how about I'm going to do this?
Thank you, Natalie, for your suggestion. Oh, sorry, Judith. Go ahead.
The updated version with the verbiage on it from Alvin's, I created that because our group wasn't really grasping the whole concept, and I wanted to make it abundantly clear. Yes, this is not. So I just took Alvin's original cartoon and added a little bit of verbiage. So I would say you could probably just do the same thing in French.
But that I'm zero tech savvy, so I have no idea how to make that happen. So I don't know if someone could provide some assistance. That would be great.
And we will discuss that with our social media team and also our translation coordinator, a volunteer that is focused just for translations. So we will find a way to share that. And I also want to add to Phoebe request that we soon will have a press release, a press kit with all the information of what urban sketchers are, with some videos, graphics, and show how a sketch meet usually work, so we can show to either to museums, other institutions that we want to sketch at, so they see what we do, and then they become more open for our activities and also for sponsorship and all that. We will prepare this press release, press kit soon.
That's
and we'll share with you.
great.
Thank you.
So that's coming in what, a month maybe, or?
No, actually, it's something that we just started gathering material like links and photos and all that. So it will take a while before we have this document available as a PDF or a link on our YouTube channel or even on our website. But we'll keep you posted on the chapter admins email group when we have this ready.
Great. Thank you. Great idea.
You're welcome.
All right. So yeah, we are 10 minutes over.
I have one thing
one more?
to add.
Okay.
Here. Yeah. Sorry to hold this the last minute. I'm thinking about if we can build a major alliances with most of the social media platform, where we can have a unique account when it's come to all social media, like a partnership with Google, Facebook, and Instagram, all these providers where they can recognize the urban sketching as one body, and they can extend the non-profit offering. I know that Google is offering more space if you are non-profit organization. And frankly, I want to register for that because the space on the cloud is going very less when I'm sharing photos with the members. And I was looking for the non-profit account or number that I can register this with. So in a nutshell and more objective way, why you don't think to have major alliances and partnerships with most of the social media and the technology partner where they can recognize the urban sketcher as one identity worldwide, and we are non-profit organization. Thank you for taking my last question.
Okay. No, thank you for sharing.
But by the way, I can feedback. I give feedback personally for any information that's how this should be happening as a major partnership for the whole urban sketcher organization whole.
Okay. No, that's an interesting topic, and definitely like to dive into it more. So thank you for that. All right. So I'm sorry for, I'd like to keep it going, but we all have things that we need to move on to. I do like to end here with there is more information about the volunteer information as well as a QR code here because we're always looking for volunteers. We are 100% volunteer driven, and yeah, this is what keeps it going for us. And in terms of if you ever get stuck on who to contact, or because there are so many people that were mentioned in the meeting, info@urbansketchers.org will get routed, and we will be able to disperse it to the correct people. But if you know specific people, also the outreach, the president and vice president, you can reach out to any one of us, and we will make sure it gets to the right person or the right group of people. So that is it for today. There will be a short survey that will be sent out to make sure that we are able to tackle the things or met your expectations or not, so we could keep on making this better. But ultimately, yeah, we're really excited to be in touch with everybody, and let's keep on sketching and keep it going for Urban Sketchers. So thank you so much, everyone, and yeah, let's stay in touch via online.
Hey, Mike,
Yes.
there was always a tradition we have a group photo
Good
after.
point. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me
So
stop
everybody turn
sharing
on
it.
your camera.
I don't know if we could get everyone on the same page here, but okay.
Who is taking the picture? Can you, Alvin, please?
One you can see cheese.
All right, 1, 2, 3, cheese. All right, let's see if it did that. All right, I got a shot. I hope everyone else got a shot too. So, all right, well, thank you, everyone. And thanks for joining, and let's stay in touch. Okay. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Okay.
Mike.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
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 Good night. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye-bye. Good night. Bye.